I'd love to introduce two speakers that are about to share the stage. They're both from Lately. We've got Kate Bradley Chernis, who is the founder and CEO of Lately, and she's going to be joined with Lauren Turow, who is the COO of Lately. As a former rock and roll DJ, Kate has served 20 million listeners as music director and on-air host at SiriusXM. She's also an award-winning radio producer, engineer, and voice talent with 25 years of national broadcast communication, brand building, sales, and marketing expertise. What she learned in radio about the neuroscience of music helps fuel Lately's artificial intelligence. Prior to founding Lately, Kate also owned a marketing agency which got Walmart 130% ROI year over year for 3 years. Now let's go ahead and talk about Lauren. Prior to her role as the Chief Operating Officer at Lately, she led their customer success efforts, building out all communications, data collection, and analytics processes from the ground up. Later in her role as the head of sales, Lauren set numerous sales records using the tactics that she's learned in customer success. Now, in addition to managing the day-to-day operations of the company, Lauren also oversees payroll and accounting and facilitates all enterprise customer success relationships. Prior to joining Lately, Lauren worked in the healthcare industry, helping to enroll oncology patients into cutting-edge immunotherapy and chemotherapy clinical trials. She has a master's in psychology analytics, is a mom, and loves to catch a sunset show at Red Rocks. Let's go ahead and welcome Kate and Lauren to the stage. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with Kate. Hello, hello. Welcome to the DATAcated conference.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. You're doing an excellent job, Kate. And by the way, namesake. So
hey, Kate. How you doing, Kate? I love it. Awesome. I'm gonna give you the stage and let me know when to share your screen. I'll be backstage if you need me.
All right. Thanks so much. So I'm going to share my screen. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining wherever you are in the world. All our love to you and your families, whatever is going on with you. And I'm going to just dive right in here, and hopefully you guys can see my screen okay. Shout if you can't. But like Kate was saying, yes, I did have this other life as a rock and roll DJ. And that's actually me back in the day. And my husband, who now has short hair and wears chinos, and he's in sales, poor thing. But back in that day, I was working with XM, satellite radio, and broadcasting to 20 million listeners a day. And then, of course, there was the Walmart component as well, as Kate mentioned. So these two things actually really fuel how our AI works and the data that we're able to pull to help other people just take the guesswork out of what to say when it comes to social media writing copy specifically. But we work with both marketing and sales teams to really identify what words, what ideas, what values are going to resonate with our customers, so they know kind of what to write. So I want to talk to you about, how we do that, right? So, and we're going to show you, Lauren's here to give us a demo as well. Lately's designed to automatically create content for you. And we do this based on the neuroscience of how the brain processes music. So I'm going to talk to you about that part real quick. We're just going to jam ahead real quick. Here we go. So what's so interesting about what Dan was saying previously is we believe in that collaboration as well. It's 100% essential for AI to actually really do the magical job that it does. So to describe the neuroscience of music listening, so you can understand how Lately works, I'll do that real quick here. When your brain listens to new music, it must instantly access every older song you've ever heard in that moment. And what it's doing is it's looking for familiar touch points, so it knows where to index that new song in the library of the memory of your brain, right? And as you're listening to that song, in that moment comes forth nostalgia, memory, emotion. These are all the things that make music so powerful. They're also all the things that must underlie trust. And trust is why we buy, right? That all has to be in place there. Now, when you write copy, your voice rings out like a song because it has a frequency like a note. And so if somebody reads your copy, whether it's social media or a text or an email, whatever, they hear your voice in their head. So it's your job then as the author to give them familiar touch points and cue nostalgia, a memory, emotion, and trust, right? You see how that's all connected there? Okay, so this is how it works. And before we dive into the full demo here, just to put some proof in the pudding, using these understandings and theories that we did to build Lately's AI, we see customers get 12,000% more engagement. So, no small shakes there. They save 84% time in writing, and they see an average of 200% more leads. We here at Lately use only Lately for sales conversions. We don't do any cold calls or cold emails, and no paid ads. And so we have a 98% sales conversion, right? Because the AI is so good at discovering what ideas, words, and sentence structures will actually ring true with your audience. So now is the time to welcome Lauren into the mix. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Everybody, look at Lauren. She's the best. She's saying hi from Denver, Colorado. All right, so let's dive in real quick here. So this is how it works. Putting some of these test ideas to the test. So we're going to choose video. So what Lately does is it learns from content you already have. And we are grabbing some video here, which we've uploaded into Lately. And Lauren's going to go ahead and choose what character count she wants. She can adjust for different channels. She could maybe add some different links. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of prep the AI before it gets to work. So for now, we're doing Twitter and LinkedIn. We're going to ask it to create social posts for that. We click save. And then we click generate. And what the AI is doing is it's going back and it's studying all of your analytics over the last year from any channel you give us access to. And it's building a writing model based on what it learns. And it's studying the words and the phrases and the ideas and the sentence structures that make up the highest engaging posts, the ones that get people to comment and share on your content, right? Now it has this writing model. And then when you feed it long form content like a video, or a podcast, or any text whatsoever. It could be a blog or an article that somebody wrote about you. It's then going to take that writing model and atomize the long form content into social posts based on what it knows. So in this case, you can see here, we've got a video. It's looking for like the smartest quote. And it says they know they need to be posting content.
Sorry.
Okay. I just want to see what
I just wanted to show everybody how many we got.
That's good. So it's asking you to like look through here and give you. I want you to give you guys a moment to read it, and then you have the option to edit it. So Lauren can click through to the next one. She can edit it as she likes. Let's do a little editing. If you watch on the right-hand side, the post success indicator is going to go up the more you do the things we recommend you do, because we want you to have the highest engagement possible, right? And you can see the clip of the video quote of where Lauren or the guy Steve, here our friend Steve, said what's inside the post, plus a link driving back to the full component there, right? So pretty amazing. So let's just dive in real quick to the keyword recommendations. So Lately is going to recommend keywords to you based on what it knows. And here's what those keywords look like. So they're word clouds that you can curate by date, time, channel, theme, idea. So in the case of the word human, for example, Lately is saying, hey, this word generated 8.5 thousand impressions in 2 posts. It's amazing. So this idea resonates well with your audience. Would you like the AI to double down, pay more attention, find more ideas around this word human, or ignore it, right? So you have some control. Again, I love that Dan was our segue here, because this is that collaboration piece, right? We're showing you guys, because we know that robots are cold. They just are. And humans are slow. But together, boom, boom, boom. All right, let's do some questions. Shall we, Kate?
Yes, the other Kate. You're talking to me at this point. Yes.
And I think we can stop sharing the screen too.
Yeah, we can put the screen away for now, unless people have specific questions, then we can always go back. We're getting a lot of, this is really useful, this is really cool, like, oh my God. So, and then question here from, let's see, Ravit. So his question is, where can we try this? I know Ravit has his own show, and as do I, the DATAcated show, where we sit on hours and tens of hours and maybe hundreds of hours of content. And we all have this great vision of one day repurposing that content and sort of getting it all out there on social media. And this looks like a really easy way to, I guess you just upload the video or the blog article, and the AI will sort of read through it, create a transcript, and then create little snippets that you can automatically share across all social media?
Yeah, you got it 100%. Like the only missing piece there is you want to go in and touch everyone, because legally Facebook or Twitter won't allow a third party to publish on your behalf. So like you have to edit it, but also the more you edit it, the smarter the robot gets. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because then you can be consistent and more authentic when you sort of put your own touch on it, but it saves you that time of loading the video up into like Camtasia or some sort of software and then cutting it to just the right amount where you want it and then drafting that language. I could just see so many hours of time saved with something like this. So I think this is really, really cool, very useful. More questions coming in. Raul is asking, can this be used by a small business or a group, or is this mainly for bigger corporations?
Yeah, thanks, Raul. It's for all size companies. We actually just released our first self-service products. So if you have Hootsuite or you use HubSpot Social, we have products for you specifically. But also, we will just hook you up with our salespeople, and they'll put you in the right place. It's painless. We start at $15 a month. I mean, that's pretty painless. And we're learning, right? We're learning from smaller businesses, especially. So we want to talk to you, Raul, because we have a lot of demand and we want to make sure we're delivering the right product for you.
Yeah, it looks like you've got some interested people here. Letitia's already looking to schedule a demo with you, so that's great. Cool. Love to see that. Hopefully you guys can catch up after the conference. Let's see. Anirudh is getting technical here. So are you guys using transformers? Does Lately leverage transformers for natural language processing there?
So I just know enough to be dangerous because my CTO runs this, but 82% of the IP is ours, but we do work with Watson, GPT-3, Google AI, and Meaning Cloud. So those are the integrations that we use for a combination of our NLP and AI.
Okay, awesome. And Petrie wants to see under the hood. He wants to see the engine. And we're not going to show the engine here today, but if you wanted to learn more about, I guess, the behind the scenes of how this actually works, where can he go to learn that?
Yeah, just go to www.lately.ai. Or if you hit us on any social channels and ask those questions, I'll ask my CTO to write a more comprehensive answer for you and get it your way.
Right. Awesome. Okay, Dan's question, or let's see if it's a comment. So he says, ideally, you'd be pulling from your own content to optimize your own performance, but could Lately be used to analyze and emulate a third party's content?
Yes, so you're thinking a lot like everyone else. So it can be used for owned media or earned media or found media. So for example, by owned means the stuff you create, just so people know. Earned is if somebody asks you, like Kate did, for me to be on her show, I'm going to ask her for this file so we can run it through our own AI and drive traffic back to the website where she posts this content later, right? But for found media, we work with a company called UpContent. So when you come to Lately, you click Discover, type in some themes that you like, it'll go find you articles on those themes. So you have thought leadership content and social posts made from it instantly.
Wow. And there's no limit, right? You can upload anyone's content and then get these little snippets created.
Yeah, you'll get too many. It'll give you hundreds, just to be really clear. Now, I like all 100 because it's like garlic. I mean, everything, I work so hard to chop that stuff up and it's so delicious. And the way you can really monetize that is if you think differently. Take a piece of content and schedule all 40 components out over time, once a week for 40 weeks to leverage the long tail and drive traffic back, right? So you'll get infinitely more traffic than you would posting it all like the same week.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So let's say I have a 10-minute video clip that I want to upload to get some of these social media blurbs. How long would that take from start to finish? Let's say I have the MP4 file ready to load and I've already set up the, I guess the specs on Lately the way I like them.
Lauren.
Oh yeah. A 10-minute file, that would honestly, that would take maybe 7 to 10 minutes. It's pretty snappy. If once you get to those longer files, so a 45-minute long video or something like that, it can take a little longer just because of the nature of downloading and uploading things. So our upload speeds are pretty comparable to YouTube speeds. So not how long that takes. But as soon as it's uploaded, it's pretty snappy. And honestly, our team, right, Kate, they've been working to make it even faster. And I've noticed crazy crazy improvements in the speed already. So it's been
Plus,
pretty awesome.
too, I wanted
Nice.
to mention, Kate, that it does this in multiple languages, right? So if you gave
Yeah.
us a German video, we'll give you German social posts, for example.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. I actually didn't know that. That's really cool. So it's all languages?
Anything that reads left to right and that has punctuation. So that does include Japanese, but it does not include Chinese at the moment.
Okay, and that includes video content as well, not just written content?
Yes, video content as
wow.
well. Yeah.
That's really cool. Actually, he's asking if this is industry related. So is this specific to any industry, or can this be used by anybody?
Yep, we're industry agnostic, so any industry whatsoever. It works better. It doesn't work so well generally with CPGs, but that's only because CPGs don't generally have long form content. They have photos. That's where they live, you know.
Right.
But there's some CPGs that have like lots of blogs and podcasts and stuff like that, and they do really well.
Right. Okay. And then Akbar is asking, does Lately also take into consideration the cultural context and marketing locations? Great question. I love that.
That is great. And we've been asked it before. So it can only take in consideration the voice, right? So the more information you feed it, the more content you put in, it gets smarter and smarter about that voice. So if the voice has the cultural context woven within, so like my content, for example, my highest performing hashtag is hashtag peeing my pants, because that's what I said when Gary Vaynerchuk retweeted about us. Now,
I actually saw that.
You did? No, you know me now, Kate. That's how I talk, right? Like, so it starts to pull out stuff that's very, very me because I've trained it to be so, right?
Right. I love it. Let's see. My personal question, and you commented this in a few places, Kate. So this is a question for you. You said 98% sales conversion rate. I need to know more. How does that work? I think everyone wants to know more about this.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. And we're a startup, and so we can't afford paid ads, frankly. So we had to come and be creative. So we started to think about, all right, what are we doing? And I do get on a lot of podcasts because I'm interesting. I'm a woman, rock and roll DJ, AI, all that stuff. So let's use this. And what I do is I do one speaking engagement every day, or I do a guest blog, or Lauren does them too. Like I farm it out to the team because she's amazing as well, right? I don't need to be the only cover of the magazine. And then we ask for the file, like we said before. But then once we have it and run it through the AI, there's two things that happen that's really important. One, a human on my team goes through every post before we publish it to contextualize it, make sure the AI isn't like pulling out a non sequitur or something weird. Then the second thing is we broadcast on our brand channels, but also all of our employee channels. And Lately has a tool built in to do that, because together we're stronger, right?
Yeah.
And then what we do is we watch. So Katie Jordan looks to see who likes, comments, and shares, because those are warm leads. Forget cold leads. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And we can then qualify them. And so by the time we get them into a demo, they're hot. So that's how that 98% happens. Now, and so it's a combo, right, of the AI knowing which words to pull and the humans knowing, what to emphasize and being able to DQ or qualify.
Awesome. I love it. Just the last comment I'll take from the audience here. Zolt says, it's very interesting signing up for a test run. Oh, do you have a coupon code?
I mean, it's $15 a month and free for 7 days. So, I mean, that seems pretty cheap to save you on average $3,000 a month. So let us know how it goes, Zolt, okay?
Yes, awesome. Yes, I highly encourage everyone to go ahead and try it out. Like Kate said, there's a free trial that you can even try and see if this is something you want to use for your social media. Kate and Lauren, I want to thank you very much for being on the DATAcated conference.
Yeah, thanks
for tuning in. Awesome.
You're the
awesome
best.
to
Thanks
see
so
you.
much, Kate. Rock and roll.
Bye.